kjører vi bare I gang, tenker jeg. All right, there we go. We're live. Welcome to episode 119 of the CosCast. My name is Pixie Does Cosplay, and I'm your main host as always. And with me, I have my wonderful co-hosts.
Annabella Cosplay.
And Jessia Cosplay.
Hey, ladies. And also joining us tonight is our very special guest. Guest. Ranirav Cosplay, or Rara, as you might know her.
There's only a picture of Rara on the stream, though.
What? Oh, apparently there is. Today is the day for all of the weird things. There we go. There we go. But now you've gotten to see Rara. So,
A little
it's
bit
good.
the introduction today, but hey!
Different. Ranirav is love. Ranirav is life, Cece says in the chat.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
That's how we feel, too.
Yes.
You know, Rara, you're basically our god. You're this mythological creature that everyone talks about, but, you know, you've never been here before, so welcome.
Thank you.
Now we know that you actually exist and you're real.
Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed because that kind of shatters the illusion of being this non-existing entity. So I thoroughly enjoy that.
Yeah, we'll just have to remove every trace of this episode when we finish it.
This never happened.
It's never happened.
Dream.
You won't recognize me outside of cosplay.
Yeah, because you see, Rara is actually just a figment of my imagination that just happened during a dream or something.
It was a really nice dream, though.
It was the best dream.
It was a really.
What do you mean? This is a dream.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, it started as one dream, and now it just coalesced into a bunch of dreams being interwoven. And now we are really unable to separate reality from this other reality.
Mm-hmm.
Inception.
And
Yes,
Rara
Inception.
is actually like a hive mind boss.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That's why I don't know about her.
Lucia Farah saying, don't go full Doki Doki now. We won't. And if you haven't played Doki Doki, do it. Or if you haven't seen any Doki Doki videos, do it. Because Doki Doki...
I haven't tried it yet, but I want to. I just don't know if I have the time.
It's free. You should do it.
Yeah.
Or if not, just watch the videos. It will go much faster.
Yeah, it's true. All right. Also, Lucia Farah says that Kim, though, looking so good.
Oh, I'm awake, so that's
It's a start.
That's actually something that really adds to this presence. Yes.
Mm. And she likes my hair. Thank you very much. I feel pretty. Yeah, so welcome to everybody in the chat and everyone watching. Let's move into our first segment of the evening, which is cosplay progress. So have we worked on anything cosplay related during the past week?
Yes, or yesterday. I made this yesterday. It is May's hairpin from Overwatch. I was supposed to continue doing my diva gun that I started last year, but I couldn't find my Dremel, and I don't know where it is. It's just completely gone, so I made this instead. I'm not gonna make the entirety of May's costume, but at least this will make a nice casual one.
Cool. It's very cute. It's a huge hairpin.
Yeah, but
enormous.
it's supposed to like go in your hair like this, so when you do this, it's not really that
that's
big.
true. That's true. Can't wait to see it. It'll be cool.
Thank you.
Now, Kim, I know you have been working on stuff.
Yes. In fact, I've already sliced my fingers twice on this. Oh God, hellish thingy.
Slice?
But, yes, you know me and needles. I make a point of bleeding excessively for every cosplay I make, and to this day, that has not been broken. So, but right now I'm working on a jacket, my kind of my own design for Molly Mark from Critical Role Season 2. Yes. And also I'm doing some side printing, 3D printing. So I got this thing almost done. I'm missing 2 pieces, but it'll probably take me 14 days to get it complete.
That's the mercy gun, right?
This is the mercy gun, so I gotta be sanding it, and that's such a hassle. I'm sorry.
I'm so jealous. I want to do an Overwatch cosplay too.
Come on, join us.
Join us.
I
the
don't know which one.
Join us.
I don't really have anything that'll suit any Overwatch characters. And I can't really afford to buy new stuff anyway. Not right now. So
Is that a birthday present wish?
maybe.
Her birthday is in April, so it's not
Yeah.
that far from this date.
Yeah,
This is true.
if you add 3 months, then maybe I can print something out.
Maybe we should do a collaboration.
Yes.
I'll figure something out. I'll find a way to do a casual Overwatch cosplay somehow.
Yes, you will.
Blood, sweat, and tears, the key ingredient in cosplay, says Unit Fate. Yes, this is very true.
Also,
yes.
Cici is wondering if you have made any progress on Baelish.
Not yet. Not yet.
Practicing your Baelish voice, at least.
Well, I've had tea. I need to go out and smoke about 20 cigarettes before I get to really talk. No, I need to sit down and watch some Peter speaking and scream excessively loud, and maybe. But that was that time. That was that one time at TourCon where we did that voiceover, which I was really surprised I managed to get my voice that deep. So yeah, probably.
Looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, keeping my fingers crossed I will make it.
Rick Makes
In
Stuff
time.
says 3D printing isn't the long part, it's the sanding.
Yeah, I believe you.
It is true, but if you're sloppy like me, it just takes half the time.
Sample says that her Ellis cosplay has real blood on him. I cut my finger while putting the cosplay on. Well done. Kudos to you.
Like that's A+ for authenticity.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't been working on any costumes during the past week, but I have been taking some pictures and making a review video for a store that I have agreed to become a promoter for. So that's going up on our YouTube channel tomorrow. So if you want to watch a review of a cool shirt and get a promotional code, so to get a discount and stuff, you can watch that tomorrow. I'll post it around 3 and put it up on our pages and stuff. So
Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing I've done though, I've ordered a wig for Bubbles.
Oh yeah, the Powerpuff. Yeah.
So a wig is arriving.
Cool.
Eventually.
Yeah, I need to buy fabrics for that soon.
I'm so looking forward to seeing you gals as Powerpuff Girls.
Me
It's gonna
too.
be epic. Yeah.
It's gonna be super fun. I really want Rick to get a lab coat so he can be the professor or the doctor or dad.
But he's gonna do it. The question is, how much peer pressure do we need to apply?
Yeah.
I think we just have to give him a couple of beers and some chocolate and no cookies. I take away the chocolate and put in cookies instead, and we'll be just fine.
Chocolate chip cookies.
And
Yep.
if not, I'll just order a coat for him on eBay and then just casually put it on him the next time we see him. There, you're dad now. Lucia Farah has done a makeup test for fun. I love your makeup tests.
Yep.
I want to see it.
The Kylo Ren one, or have you done a new one?
Yeah, we want to know. And Cece has put up 2 NatCon vlogs. And
Ooh.
Zahara says that she saw them and now she really misses NatCon, so you've done a good job. And Ryurai says, perfect, Rick, do it!
Yep, we agree.
Yes, he has to. It's canon now. Okay, so let's move on to cosplay news then, I suppose. The first piece of news is that House of Nerds is going to be hosting their House of Cosplay events again this year. We already talked a little bit about that, but the first workshop that will be held is going to be on the 4th of February with Just Cosplay and Props and eBean Cosplay. And we will be hosting a live talk show after the workshop, I believe. We're going to be settling some of the details this upcoming week, so we'll be posting more about that, so you'll get some more information. But yeah, come to House of Nerds on the 4th of February to have a fun time with Just Cosplay, eBean, and us. It'll be awesome.
Yep.
Yes. Tony is really excited. Yeah. Also, there will be a mini Kawaii Con, like a cosplay day on the 24th of February. I'm going to be putting up the links for the news section on the Facebook. I didn't have time to do it earlier today, but I will do it after so you guys can find it. There will also be a mini Archon convention on the 24th and the 25th of March, I think, at Chateauneuf in Oslo. So if you're into board games, card games, role-playing games, stuff like that, it's a little 2-day convention where you can just show up and play some fun games and meet new friends and stuff. And that's pretty much all of the news I have this week, except for the new rules that YouTube has implemented for the monetization schemes or rules. And we wanted to just touch upon that real quickly.
Yeah, it doesn't really consider us that much because we don't really make any money from YouTube anyways. So this just really affects the sort of smaller, big channels that has made some money before but can't make any money because you'll have to have you need to have at least 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 minutes of view time, which means that people have to watch your video in its entirety for you to make any money, and so forth and so on and so on. But the good thing about this is, for one thing, it's harder to make money of other people's content. You can't just, upload something that someone else has made and claim the money for it yourself. That's a positive thing. Also, it will make it harder for channels with, violent content or hate content or extremism to actually make money and stabilize a sort of community on YouTube. And I think that is a good thing that YouTube are trying at least to make it better because their algorithm doesn't work at all. They tried to do a lot of stuff last year with the whole adpocalypse thing. But it didn't really work out. And then there was a new thing this year with children's channels that got, children's channels that people have put on this sort of, what's it called when you put on a block so that children can't watch explicit videos.
Yeah.
But
it's just like a filter.
Yeah, but it did not work because there was a lot of children's YouTube channel things that it will sneak other sort of videos into that had tags that were for children, but the videos themselves would show maybe Elsa puking because she was drunk, and then Anna would hold her hair back, videos like that with stuff that children shouldn't see. And I think that these kind of things, on top of the whole Logan Paul situation, has made YouTube actually have to do some changes. So
yeah, because that was some crazy shit, and it should never have been allowed to have been posted in the first place.
Exactly. So this is also why YouTube have done this. They have also hired a lot of people, so it's not only robots that's viewing their. It's not just algorithm and robots reviewing videos and demonetizing. They have actually put people on the job of reviewing videos as well. And that is going to make it so much better, I think. So yeah, it's going to be a bit harder for the smaller channels now for a while, but there's so many people trying to make it on YouTube, and really it's not a safe place to make money. If you make money from YouTube, great, good for you, but it's not
Most people
really
don't make money from it anyway, so it's not going to affect most people.
No, but it's
in
not a
general.
safe career choice either.
No, it never has been, though, to be fair. YouTube has never been like, because it could easily just fizzle out and die. There's no rule saying that YouTube is going to be forever. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's was all I had to say about it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Tonya, did you have anything you wanted to say?
Not really. It's just that I've seen a video earlier this week of PewDiePie making his thoughts of the same theme, and I think he makes a pretty good points. And if you want to hear more about it from a more experienced YouTuber, you can go check his channel out, where he talk about this subject.
Also, I thought we would just quickly touch upon the whole changing of the Facebook algorithm. Facebook has decided that it wants to go back to being more personal again. So it's going to be different. Like companies that buy ads and stuff will not be popping up in your feed as much as it has done before. It's going to be dependent on shares and likes that your friends and followers share. So everything that pops up in your feed is that something someone has already liked or shared, instead of having it pop up because someone paid for it to pop up in your feed, which I think is nice. It's going to be easier for you to see things that your friends post, that your family post, or pages that you actually actively like and follow post. So I think that might be good for like small pages like the CosCast, and just in general for the regular Facebook user. You won't be flooded by commercials and ads and stuff like that anymore.
I think Facebook is has been a dying platform for some years now. So I think this is just their way of trying to spark some life in it again, because generally people don't care about Facebook anymore.
Well, at least in the younger generations, it's a bit dying, it seems. But like the grown-ups, people are a little bit older than us, and people on our age, in our age group, seem to still be using Facebook, for personal stuff. At least that's the view I have, my perspective. Anyone else want to put some in there, or are we done and ready to move on?
We're ready to move on, I think.
We're good. Okay, cool. All right, so before we move into the interview questions, I thought I would share some photos of Kim, or Rara, and her wonderful cosplays.
Ranirav, because if you search Rara, you won't find her.
No, you won't find her.
That's true.
Yes,
but
Ranirav cosplay.
Yeah, it's just her pet name of mine.
Yeah, Tonya made it up.
If you happen to see me at a convention and you shout out Rara, I will turn around.
Yes, this is true. So the first one is egg.
Yes. Can I just say one more thing before I forget it?
Oh, yeah.
Next convention, when we see Rara, can we all just do Lady Gaga?
Yeah.
Rara, mama.
Ooh la la.
I support this message.
Yes.
And we break into dance.
Yes, please.
Flash mob.
Yeah.
It'll be amazing.
All right, go on.
Train.
Right. But yes, you are known as Egg.
Yeah.
By many people.
By many people.
So this is the first one. This photo, I don't remember which who took it.
That will be Sample Cosplay, in fact.
Ah, yes.
That's Toricon.
Yeah.
The sample.
The background is very easily recognizable. That hotel is very distinctive.
Yeah, and it was raining that day, so I was like, nah, this ball cap won't hold up anyway. Let's just do it outside. Inside.
Yeah. I think we were out in the rain for a little while, but that's had to do with the fact that I was not wearing a bald cap and had fur, so I wasn't cold.
Well, the biggest issue I had with that cosplay and rain is that I'm not wearing shoes. I'm literally wearing toeless socks. So I did go out a wee bit, and yes, my feet got wet.
I believe you.
Yeah.
You are.
I'm gonna do this all night.
Yes.
The next one is also a favorite of mine because you're a wonderful dandelion too.
Oh.
Such smooth talker. Much wow.
Yeah. It's that particular picture, if I'm not mistaken, is not only featuring me but a wonderful Sarah's.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Pixie just casually puts herself in the images.
Of
Like,
course.
look at these gorgeous pictures, you guys.
So pretty color.
I figured this out long ago. Like, Pixie just want to show everybody that yes, she has a chance with me.
Oh.
And yes,
Yeah,
darling,
clearly.
you do, anytime, anywhere. Just call me.
Okay. We'll talk after the show.
Yeah. Well, the more the merrier, and you know that I'm always serving you first.
But Rara,
Yeah.
you know, I also have a Witcher cosplay.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
We
And
should.
yes,
We
yes, yes.
No words necessary. Just yes.
should.
This photo was taken by the wonderful Hidesa Tai Cosplay, and edited her too, I believe. Let's see. Dandelion is so colorful. Like any picture with dandelion in it is like, bam.
And Rara, you are sort of headcanon for dandelion.
Yes.
Yeah, in my head.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're so in character when you're in this cosplay. It's crazy.
Well, that's what I like everyone to believe, at least. But okay.
It's just you. Is that it? Is it just you?
I'm not going to say anything except it comes really natural.
Ryurai Art is saying, I also want to cosplay with Rara and a crying.
Yes, I'm all up for it. Come on, join me.
You have a Zen. You could do that.
Yes, I do. In fact.
Yes. So problem solved.
Problem Mystic Messenger.
Solved instantly. Well, technically, didn't we do that Mystic Messenger group? Weren't you in that
but
area?
I don't think Liana was cosplaying for Mystic Messenger at that point.
No, she was
She
not.
does now, though.
Yeah, now she does.
She has an MC.
That's true. And if you're ever up for picking Sun's route,
Me
know where to
too,
find me.
be my babe. See.
I'm going to get you your Baelish, okay?
Rara. All right.
You already have Baelish on order.
Yes. So this next one is you in your Dalish Lavalan cosplay. I think I took that photo. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. It's my more or less like closet cosplay, which for me it means that I'm actually comfortable. But yeah, then again, I think it's a wonderful photo, and I'm planning to elaborate a lot on that cosplay. So stay tuned.
Your
can't wait.
Looks so on point. I love your skills on putting him on. Like if I would have done that, it would look like a kid's drawing.
Well, having the tools for the job absolutely helps, and I've been shouting the word everywhere I go about this Korean eyeliner brand.
I have it.
Yes, that one, and it's absolutely awesome. But you also, if you lay the foundations with general light eyeshadow or something, and go over the lines with concealer, then usually you'll have a somewhat good Vaseline, and it will only take you 3 hours.
You're selling it so well.
Yes, I know.
This is one of the reasons why I chose an easier Vaseline.
Yes, I thoroughly envy you that.
Yeah. I think mine takes like 45 minutes or something.
Oh, the joy.
Yeah, the one time I went with Valslane on Spill Expo, I actually had Rara do it for me.
Yes. And you rocked that Valsley in there. You rocked.
Yeah, I still have the pictures. I was up here on the wall.
Aw.
Yeah, I have it on my refrigerator. It's right there.
I have mine here. We're so
No.
Mine is in the other room, but it's behind that wall, straight behind that wall.
cute. Yeah, but mine is with Greta though, and Tonya.
Yeah, mine is with Rara
Aw.
and Greta.
We're gonna talk about that Korean thing in a moment when we finish showing the pictures, so I
Yes.
can show you the eyeliner.
This, the next one, Leclerc.
Yeah. That was my sort of I can't handle the sexiness making noises.
I thought it was associated with like a in character kind of reaction to the spell or something.
No.
Like
It's
got a
like-
power.
No, it's more like a lot of YouTubers I watch, they do that. Or they just get instant nosebleeds, you know.
Yeah, Leclerc is like nosebleed material for sure.
Mhm.
So good. So good. And for those of you who don't know who Leclerc is, watch our Dragon Age RPG podcast and then you'll know. And then you'll be like, yes.
Leclerc is
Yes.
the best. I love
They're
Leclerc
the
so
bomb.
much. And I'm gonna do this is spoiler alert, just slightly. We thought like I'm so like this NPC is not an NPC anymore. It's a real character, and I'm so freaking afraid that this character will die.
Mhm.
Like she can't die from the it's not nope.
I have big plans of coming after Rick with a big vendetta if anything happens.
Yeah. Yeah,
We're so
doing
attached
that.
to this character. It's crazy.
Yes, it's the best character in the world. I love Leclerc so much.
All right, that was the last of the pictures, and this is a selfie that you took yourself, which is crazy because it looks so good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, because I'm really, really, really horrible at putting myself in front of the lens of a camera, so I figured I have to do it myself if I ever get any pictures for my cosplays.
Sometimes you have to, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm following Starbit's procedure here and got myself a nice camera, and I'm learning how to use it.
Awesome.
Also, Viurai is screaming in the chat, perfection! Only Leclerc that is out there! Faithful fumble, stay faithful!
Oh, heart.
And I also want to mention Lucia Farah saying, "Woo, bae!"
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, you guys are so
Oh,
nice.
oh, bless. We love you so much.
I am sensing overcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
My spidey senses are tingling. So
I would be really disappointed if we couldn't get it to overcast.
Yeah.
I have one goal for tonight.
Yeah. Some of my senses are tingling too. It's not spider senses.
oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wow. I'm getting very warm over here, so let's move on.
Cece is actually wondering, what kind of camera do you have?
Oh gosh, I have a Nikon D. What is it? 5300 or something. Oh, it's a Nikon. It's one with the little screen, LED screen that you can flip around and actually make a selfie camera.
I want one of those.
I think
Yeah.
I can do it on my camera. I'm a bit unsure. I'm gonna check it. You guys just
Carry
Yeah.
on. Yeah. So, Tonya, maybe you want to start with the four first questions or so?
I sure Larry. Yes.
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 Sure. What? No.
No, I'm reading the chat.
No, but Lucia Farah, you shouldn't be shocked. Just it's what Rara, draws out of me. Just
It flows naturally.
yeah, it happens when you're being with your spiritual animal. Just things happen.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm still waiting for you to accept that marriage proposal from my neck, Keelit. Like, future ex-wife, please.
Yeah.
Before we jump into the questions, though, I'm just gonna answer the eyeliner thing. It's called Mote Liner, Moteliner, and this is the color brown. I think you can find it on eBay.
You can
Looks
find
like
it on
this,
eBay.
and it is like waterproof. And I did a test drawing on my arm, and I couldn't really wash it off properly for like 3 days.
I still got like marks after doing my black eyeliner today. So yeah, it actually sticks. It is an award-winning Korean eyeliner, as far as I can remember. And yeah, it's really good. It comes highly recommended.
So how do you wash it off when you have your whole face covered with it?
Excessive amounts of soap.
Okay, great. My
Yes.
skin's gonna love that.
Yeah.
Cosplay life.
It is face soap though. It's face soap. Otherwise, you can always try sanding paper, but I'm not sure if that's going to work.
I'm not
You're gonna get a nice scrubbing, that's for sure.
To anyone at home, don't do that. Don't do that. No.
Well, if anyone tries, they will quickly figure out it won't work.
Well, if you are kind of like me, who gets really dry in winter, and you kind of start to shed your skin repeatedly, it might actually be proper. I'm waiting for the signs of really premature aging from all that rough housing on my face.
Well, actually, just
Well,
shake a mallet here.
Oh no, Valeth, shut up, go away.
Well, actually, your skin, that makes the blood flow in your skin more fresh and stuff. I don't know how to say this in English properly, but scrubbing your face is actually good for you.
Oh, I'm gonna take that with me when I start crying in front of the mirror.
Yeah, just remember to hydrate. That is importante.
Oh, that's no problem, because I'm really inconsistent in following my Korean 10-step skincare program.
Or just do like sample cosplay. Use acetone.
Use acetone, yeah.
That's a good idea.
Oh no.
Sweetie,
All right.
don't.
No. All right. So, Rara.
Thank you, Rirai.
Mom is here. Hello, Mom. Okay. Rara, Ranirav, Kim. Hello. How
Hello.
long have you been into cosplay, and how did you get into cosplay?
Oh God, I have been I was dreading this question because I have a really bad memory at dates and stuff. So luckily, I am good at documenting things. Technically, I didn't really know it was cosplay at the time. I think it was like Desicon Cosplay and Fantasy-ish, or the summer Desicon after that, be a couple of 4 years or something ago, when I kind of got into like cosplay. But lo and behold, my ancient Lord of the Rings scrapbook, I have been talking about this to some people previously, and yes, it does contain stuff. I've had it since I was about like 13 years old or something.
Aww. Oh
It
my
contains-
god. Okay, you have just revealed your diary.
Yeah. but
So-
the juicy things is that, like, I don't remember dates and years and stuff like that, and I don't remember how old I was at different times. But luckily, thanks to this newspaper article of me being to the Lord of the Rings premiere, that would be me in the blue, by the way, right there. At the tender age of 16, after watching, it became about 10 hours of Lord of the Rings marathon at local movies. We were at the premiere of Return of the King. So this is actually the front page. We also got an entire, wait, I have to fold this out because we've got an entire page with interview of the geeky girls. So as you can see, it will be me in blue right about there. And yeah.
That is so cool.
That is me being awkward and really still an Elvish fan, and yes, the reason you can't see any eyebrows is not just because of poor resolution; it's because I didn't have any on my face.
Good job. Good
This
job.
was early 2000.
Yes, that's what life was like back then.
Yeah.
And Sample Cosplay saying, Rara started cosplaying before I started school.
Yeah, I think we discussed it. The sample was about 4 years, I believe.
Eunice says, Rara is a dinosaur.
Yes, but I love dinosaur. I
No,
was in
but,
Etsy the other day.
Actually, I went to a Lord of the Rings premiere at the movies too, dressed up as an elf, of course. And me and some of my friends ended up on the local TV channel, and it just said Anita, Lord of the Rings fanatic, under my name. That's all it said.
I wish I could say that is the only time I ended up in the newspaper because of kind of dressing up. But literally the second time I was not in the local city newspaper, I was in the county newspaper. My picture, me in the foreground with a black witch's hat on a outdoor screening of a Harry Potter premiere, with me be like in front of the whole newspaper. Yeah, I didn't go out much that week, but I did. It has been documented at some point, yes.
Ryura is saying, wait, how old are you? I wouldn't think that you were that old. You look so young.
Well, thank you. I'm going to take that with me. Technically, I would be out of my 20s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're all getting there.
Yeah.
I am past.
Yes. This is why we connect so dearly. We are more mature,
Yeah. It's a mature thing.
Keep telling yourself that.
Yeah, I do it all the time. I'm so grown up eating ice cream on a Wednesday. Straight from the box.
Lucia Farah says, oh, please, no age talk. I'm ancient. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
Then Sahara Sarah says something that I completely agree with, and that is cosplay has no age. By the way, have you guys seen the pictures of the 70-year-old grandma? I think I don't know how old she is, but there's this grandma who cosplays in Singapore, yeah, that's true. And she cosplays not just old lady characters, she cosplays everything, and it's so freaking cool.
I'm going to be that kind of old lady. Either that, I'm going to be Grandma Death. One of the two.
Yep.
It sounds cool.
Yeah, if I can't be Gandalf when I get really old, then I'm going to be something much more horrible.
and Lucia Farah, you are not that much older than we are. Trust me. You're not.
You are 2 years older than me.
Oh my god, I'm the oldest one here.
So there. Does that make you feel better?
But did you get the opportunity to tell us how you got into cosplay?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I have always been a kind of an over enthusiastic Halloween person, and dressing up was something I really enjoyed. So somehow during the course of my long life, it kind of segued, and I think I started with I formally went to a convention with a friend or something, and I think we kind of had this idea to dress up or cosplay drows, because we are huge nerds and we do love Dungeons and Dragons. So yeah, I think technically the first thing I ever made like that myself was my drow. Talking about blackfacing, it was really black. Well, it was really black.
Yeah, but it's not the same because
I know.
It's not the same. People are painting themselves blue or red or whatever for cosplay, so it's completely different when it's a completely different universe.
It is absolutely not a human color. So.
No.
If you're that color, I think you need some medical help.
Probably, yes.
Oh, well, there are people who are very dark, but they're tend to be more brownish than grayish.
Yeah,
They're not drows.
No.
They're not.
they're not drows.
No.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, not really, because they tend to be evil.
Yeah, they're horrible people.
With one great exception.
With one exception, yes.
No, more exceptions. I've read a lot of Drow books. There are plenty exceptions.
Okay, good.
Oh, that's actually true. Yeah.
Moving on.
We could talk all day about Drow society.
Yeah,
but
sure.
anyway, so you and Mirara. All right.
Yes.
Next question. What is your favorite personal cosplay? Personal favorite cosplay?
It's kind of hard to choose, I guess. It's I think I of course have to land somewhat on Dandelion, although I do really enjoy the egg. I didn't enjoy making the egg, but I do enjoy the egg. I don't know. I think it's Dandelion as of right now, because colors and like the whole attitude kind of bring with you when you're in character. So, yeah.
AKA letting yourself out.
Yeah, big time. Out, not only of the closet, like the warehouse, storage room.
Yeah, I feel the same way about Odo.
Yes.
Odo
I love
life.
I love Odo and Dandelion hooking up on Torikon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Best
love
time.
the sort of battle between you two of being the most sexy one. And if you haven't seen it, go watch our vlog from Torukon.
Yeah. Also, Unit Fate says in the chat, Solus has a terrible vintage and should be left in the hole he was stored in. # projecting personal opinions.
Me and Unit, just before getting on this stream, just like 1.5 hours before, we ended up in a huge discussion where we basically, I was discussing as Solus from his vantage point of view, and she as her Adar, and it just went out of control. And Sample was sitting on the side, and he was like, by the way. So, yes, we have established some kind of balance here. Not.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm a Cullen girl myself. I never really hooked on to the whole Solus hype, but I can understand why people like him.
I love Solus, but again, it is an excruciating choice for me because I literally have been waiting for 3 games to date Colin.
Mhm.
So I was like, first just jumping that man, and then stuff happened.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Well, there's no man in the Dragon Age universe for me after Alistair. Alistair broke my heart, and it's not fixed.
You need to bump up that persuasion, and you need to harden him.
Doesn't matter when you're an elf.
I managed.
Really?
Well, you want him to be king, and you're an elf. You can't.
Yeah, that doesn't really work out.
You're not going to be able to marry him if you're anything except a human noble. Spoiler alert! But then again, the game is really old.
Yeah.
Darn it.
If you haven't played it yet, then too bad for you.
And yeah, Sample Dorian.
And Krem. Krem, yes.
Krem is fantastic.
And Iron Bow. I love
all
Iron
of
Bow.
them.
Okay.
Can't we just have all of them?
I have to go with Sunniva. Alistair is an all-time favorite, although I'm really torn between him and I really love Severin as well.
Oh yeah, Severin.
It's something with the Spanish accent I can't handle.
Yeah. The Antivan Crows.
Okay, this is turning into a Dragon Age fan cast.
Oh, by the way, there's rumors that the next Dragon Age will be in Antiva. So, all right. Then I'm done.
Sounds exciting.
I'm done.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay. So what are your favorite materials to work with, and which do you enjoy the least?
Fabric and fabric.
Can you be more specific?
Love-hate relationship, that is.
Well, I really enjoy sewing, although I can't really do it that properly. I'm starting to get somewhat better at it. But at the same time I always end up with fabrics that are way above my skill level. Velvets that needs to be cut only in one direction, so the color shifts isn't different, and silks and really thin stretchy materials for bodysuits that your sewing machine is trying to swallow up whole. Post-traumatic stress syndrome, I'm sorry. But yeah, I really love working with fabrics. I really love making stuff out of it. I hate cutting it out. I hate making a pattern for it. I hate doing the edges up so it won't fray and everything. But in the end, I love wearing it.
Yeah, it's so pretty when you're done, but yeah, making it is a bitch.
My cosplay specialty is absolutely making things pretty on the outside and probably really, really shitty on the inside.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah. I think it went like 6 months before I lined dandelion. So
I managed to, when I was making my Melisandre dress, I had this specific fabric shipped I bought it from a store from Etsy, and there were no more of this fabric. I had everything that was left of it, and I had made like the back panel of the skirt, and everything was just fine and nice, and everything was good. The length was good. I don't have any more spare fabric that's long enough to make another back panel for it, so yeah. But suddenly, somehow, I've managed to get a hole just on the butt of this fabric, and you can't just sew it shut because you will see it. So I had to just raise the skirt a little bit, so now it's a bit on the shorter end. But yeah, that made me hate that fabric because it's not possible to get any more of it.
That blows.
Yep.
The worst experience I had with fabric was a really nice satin and a velvet that I was basically just going to... Well, if you've seen my dandelion, the arms, where you have the green velvet and the pink satin thingy on top, I think I made 7 failed attempts at sewing those together because they literally were cat and dog upon each other. The satin was just going to do like down the velvet, and for each time it kind of slicked down a little bit. The velvet was like against the grain, and you can just pull it up again. So I had so many of like the strips going to be like real, like a C shape or something, and I was like, I can't do this. And I tried so many things, and at this point I can't even remember what worked. So
probably hand sewing the bitch.
No, it did not work. I tried, and sewing did not work.
Oh no.
Oh my god. Okay. So, what is your cosplay planning process like? Do you have a process at all?
Oh, I like the add-on on that question because I can kind of say no. I tip my cosplay planning process typically goes for one of two ways. Either I see something, I'm like, I'm gonna make that, like in Molly's case, or it will be like, oh, we're going to do this in this kind of group or something, and I'll be like, I'm gonna be in that, and then I just put it on my list and pray to the gods that somehow and somewhere I'm going to end up being finished before the deadline. So yeah, I'm really fluent in con crunching at this point. And every time I do it, I'm thinking I really need to stop doing this.
But we never learn.
I never learn.
Like sample cosplay says, didn't you line Solus on my bed the day before Torukon?
No, actually, I didn't line him. I sewed his pants. I installed a zipper, and yeah, I have like this emergency solution every time I make pants, which is amazingly frequent. And sometimes my weight or either my weight or my kind of measurement of how much width I will need for the pants is kind of fluent. So one of my pro tip for anybody making pants and be like, oh, I have to make like it was a fit. No, you don't. You just have to have your hips and just have the pants flay out slightly, and just maybe pinch it with a safety needle, and then you wear what you call like trouser suspenders underneath your regular cosplay. I do this every time I wear Dandelion because his waist is way too big.
Well, that's a good tip, just in case. So you will always fit your pants.
I have never, except Dandelion, none of my pants has ever been like fully made. They are still in progress, but you don't.
I hate pants.
Yeah, pants are the worst. I made 2 and I hate them.
I haven't tried it yet, so I wouldn't know. But I guess it's true.
I think I made like 4 pair of pants, and like the first pair, too big. Second pair, I couldn't sit in them. I could walk, that was fine, but I could not sit in them. And then the third pair of pants was huge balloon pants with stretchy materials, so that's good. And I made some other stretchy pants with like elastics in the around the stomach. So I've never made like real fitted, nice looking pants.
No, me neither. I made like my link pants. They're so big. I swear you could fit like 2 of me in the hip area. It's just so much room up there.
Pants are really hard to make.
Yeah.
I as long as there's no pockets and you're not going to have like the overlay in front of zippers and everything, I simply took one of my really ragged old stretch pants and kind of just cut off all the seams. And now that is the basis for all pants I make. And I typically add like at least 10 centimeters and just sew my way in until it fits perfectly.
Good idea.
Yep.
All right. Let's move on. You're so going on overtime today.
Yep.
Before the next question that I'll let Sunniva take, I want to ask, are you a hoarder?
Yeah, kinda. I'm a light hoarder, but I also am very, very good at mercilessly throwing away things. So about 2 times a year or something, I will go on a rampage and be like, do I need this? No. Does it have emotional sentiment connected to it? Yes. Do I still need it? No. Throw it away. Only difference would be if like, is this worth any money? Would it be like bad of me of throwing this thing away? Kinda. Okay, let's store it up in the attic. So
yeah.
But beyond that, I'm not going to turn my camera so you can see the pile of fabric I currently have in my living room. but I think it would speak for itself. I have fabric to make cosplay for days, and yeah.
But how can hoarding benefit cosplayers?
Well, I think technically, I think it will benefit some cosplayers at least, and I'm going to name drop a bit just to make this a bit more, like you said, give it a bit more weight. This argument, as like Krigsdesign is a very big fan of using pizza cardboard for her projects. It's basically a little bit in the same manner. Every time I go to Stuff and Steel and be like, oh, this is a nice fabric, I might make something of this. I have no plans. I'm just going to buy it because it costs like 70 crowns in 1.5 meters. And one day when I sit at home and I have no cosplay inspiration or whatever, and I'll be like, you know what, I just want to do something else. Then I can just start, and I won't ruin any expensive fabrics that I have lying around for other projects. Technically, I've bought a lot of fabric for projects that I've never started, and I'm now currently repurposing for a new project that I have planned out, which is also basically me saving money because I already invested them. My sense of economy is flawless. But yeah, every time I get like a box from eBay or something shipped to me, I'll be like, is this good cardboard? Yes or no. these are things that you can technically do a lot of things with. I currently cut out a lot of cardboard, which I'm halfway kind of trying to decide whether or not I'm going to make like a dice tower or something out of. And generally, I think kind of hoarding, and I'm going to own up to the fact that I have been in my student time kind of dumpster diving at times. I love secondhand things, which is a really nice word for trash. If you're dumpster diving.
Yeah.
But,
You're dumpster diving.
It's a really good quality to see value in things that other people look upon as broken or not usable, because it
you never know.
Exactly.
And it's good for the environment.
Yes, and I think in regards to the question of how hoarding can benefit cosplayer, I think if you're collecting materials that you otherwise wouldn't purchase or necessarily think of as materials, it kind of challenges your creativity. If you're like me and buys a ridiculous amount of fabric without having any plans for it, then okay, sit down. What can I use this for? Can I learn something? Go on YouTube and finally figure out how to sew that kind of skirt or whatnot, without being afraid of having made a big investment. The same is with like old. I actually got a pair of black polyester, really really cheap curtains from a friend who thought of me when he had these curtains that he was going to throw away, and he was like, "Hey, you want it?" And I was like, "Of course." So now we have more mock-up fabric, which is really nice, especially since I love making mock-ups. That's me going, "Bleh." But yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Mock-ups are the worst, but they're also the best because it'll save you so much on costly fabrics.
I like throwing away money.
I don't know this thing. No, I just cut right into the fabric I bought for the project, and if I make mistakes, I make mistakes. I am
No. I can't do that.
Money.
Rick makes stuff says hoard all the things, make all the things.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Tonya actually got mad at me because I put like this insides of a aluminium foil roll, like the cardboard piece, the round thing, and I was like putting it in the trash, and she just picked it out of my trash and was like, oh, "This can be a really nice sword handle. You should take care of this." I was like, "Yeah, but by the time I'm gonna make a sword, I'll probably have used another roll of that, so I'm gonna have it by then." But I agree with Tonya. It's really smart idea, but I can't just store trash in my house.
I'm somewhat good at throwing away trash, but one of the things I really enjoy is like newspapers and commercial stuff that I get in my mail. I usually throw a lot of it away because I know I have a steady supply. But I remember making my, at this point, still half-finished Fallout laser rifle, which is up in my shelf, and being like, you know what? I'm lacking a tube. I'm going to cover it in Vorbla, but I'm lacking a tube. What the hell am I going to do? And lo and behold, I had gathered a lot of newspapers, and I just kept rolling them up until I get this perfectly sized little tube and covered it in Vorbla. So newspapers as well. Glorious.
Yeah. I even have influenced my boyfriend because every time he gets, something ordered in mail with, cardboard boxes, he empties them and he goes over to me and said, "Do you want this? Gonna use it for something? Want this?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, let's take it."
You're kind of like a cat in that regard, Just give her boxes; she'll be happy.
Yeah. The funny thing is, my cat doesn't like card boxes. I try to put him up into it, but he's not. Nah, I don't want to be here.
I'm sorry. I'm weird. Sorry. My dog is sniffing my microphone.
Oh,
it's okay.
Yeah, but it looks like a lot of people are using stuff. Lucia Ferra says trash heart, and Fjellandaris says, "I get curtains and old clothes from my family, partly made to cosplay of it." And I made my Hobbit cosplay from just stuff that I got from a friend because she was like, I have a lot of spare fabrics. Do you want them? Yep. So I have a lot of different fabrics. I have no idea what I'm going to use them all for, but I'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And I
Yep.
think very much is about like if you want to save money or anything, be creative about it. You don't have fabric to make a mock-up. Do your parents have some really, really old stinky towels? There you go.
Yeah.
And so you just kind of like what can you use? What can you use stuff you have access to without having to spend a lot of money? Obviously, I do specialize also in spending a ridiculous amount of unnecessary money on my cosplays. So
Yeah, we all do that.
Yeah, so I'm not necessarily the front line person for this kind of thing, but I do hoard at some.
I think most cosplayers end up as, at least part-time hoarders.
Oh yeah, it is lovely.
Yeah. Yeah. Hashtag overcast.
Yep.
Yes. I'm gonna move on to the next question, and this is sort of like a bit more deeper, and I guess that this question also will make us even more overcast because it's a huge theme. But you have had some issues with depression, or as you put it, you have been broken and messed up. Do you have any good tips to deal with such issues?
Yeah. A good tip for dealing with it. It's just as you said, it is a really hard subject, and I think a bit of reason why I thought this would be nice to talk about for my sake, at least, is that I really admire people in the community being so open and frank about their own issues, and for my own sake, I have been very much broken up and messed about due to a pretty rough past, which is very apparent when you look at me, right? No.
No.
No. And it's kind of connected to like I really admire people who can be open about it, and I haven't been this open for my sake. The first thing that I've kind of experienced from my own point of view is things will change. This is perhaps the single best tip I can give. Like, things doesn't last forever. And to give a bit of backdrop from my own experiences, I have been struggling with heavy depression since I was starting at school, bullying. I was struggling with self-harm and suicidalness, and a lot of things growing up. And it wasn't before getting into my 20s that it's starting to stabilize for my sake. It was really challenging to kind of have that shift in how you regard life. But in the end, you change, and the world around you change. The way you view the world change. You're never going to stay the same. And the thought of it is really, really scary. But it is also a promise that if you're going through a really shitty patch of life, you can't stay stagnant in that situation. And I think for a lot of people who has struggled, I either come out of it like somewhat clear as I have. I'm not saying that I'm a-okay today, but today I'm so used to having bouts of depression and slight anxieties that it's basically for me getting like the common cold. And it's about as dramatical as that. I get depressed every time I have a birthday. I get winter depression. I get, whatever. And still, because I've been through it so much throughout my life, I'm at a point where I'm thinking, you know what? This is just like a flu of the head. It's not going to last forever. It can't last forever. And I've been through worse things than this. It's nothing serious as far as the normal routine for me. I've been through a lot worse, and it's been really harrowing. But I think for a lot of people, and I'm really, really engaged when it comes to mental health for people, because I recognize people when they're struggling. It kind of clicks in, and I think everyone who's really struggled to a great degree kind of can recognize the signs in others. And I think the most important thing I want to say is, number one, it's not going to last forever. It might last a long time, but not forever. And it might be really, really shitty, but it doesn't mean that your life is not going to change for the better. But beyond that, I think one of the key things that kind of turned it around for my sake, which is the reason I'm sitting here today, which is the reason I'm not struggling as much today as I did previously, is I've been working on the relationship I have with myself the most. Like that's the relationship you're going to have the longest. And if you have a relationship of being uncomfortable with being in your own company, if you don't like yourself, probably due to the reactions of the world around you, then you're going to have a pretty tough patch. And I thoroughly believe that everybody, absolutely everybody, is worth to be in a good company with themselves. Everybody should be able to like themselves, regardless of whatever people else say. If you're awkward, you know what? There's a ton of people who's awkward. That doesn't mean that you don't deserve love and respect as everyone else. If you're really annoying, you know what? There are other people out there who's equally as annoying, and they will be thrilled in your company. So, yeah, and even the total dorks like me can, in some way, get friends for some weird reason.
But it's like we have this understanding of each other, you know?
Yeah. Because we kind of touched upon it a little bit last time. Like, all three of us have gone through patches in our lives where we did not like ourselves or straight out hated ourselves, and have had to work on accepting who we are or trying to change for the better into someone that we would like. So just hearing you say that too, I think is important for not just us, but for everyone watching the show and everyone who struggles with that, is to know that, you deserve to love yourself, and you deserve to be loved by others, and you're not alone, and things change, as you say. Things get better. And I just want to hug everyone in the chat now, because there are so many hearts.
There's so many hearts, so many people sending their love, so many people sharing like their own thoughts of depression and anxiety. And I just think that the best way of making it normal to have a mental illness or struggling with mental illnesses is to talk about it, to make it normal to talk about, and to make it, so that people don't feel like there's something wrong with you. Like it's you're not weak for sharing stuff about yourself. You're not weak. That doesn't make you a lesser human in any way. And I think that a lot of people, maybe it's a bit more focus on mental illness being a real thing now than it was 20 years ago. So I think like a lot of at least like our parents and that kind of generation, they're not really as open with it, or I don't know. It was never really a thing we talked about when I was a kid,
Mm.
No, I was an adult before I learned that my mom went to therapy for depression.
Yeah.
It's been pretty taboo, I think, for a lot of people, especially of the older generation. But yeah, at the same time, this is kind of why I did really wish to come forward also and just put it on the record that even though you might meet me on a con or just see general shenanigans I'm up to, I've been like really, really deep. I usually have been the horror example from my friends in regards to like shit happening to people, and that's fine. Like that's my story, and I'm not going to be ashamed of it, and I'm not going to let anybody think less of me because of that. Because in the end, it doesn't matter if they do. Well, I'm giving you a nice, not so nice words, and then moving on. I'm not, and I think also one benefit of being a total dinosaur at this point. I want to be a raptor, by the way. Thank you. I love raptors. But one benefit of being a total dinosaur is that you get more confident as the time goes by.
Yeah.
A lot of people I've been able to meet in this community is really just driving it home that people are able to accept me as I am. I know that I'm not. I'm technically not the kind of person that is easy to swallow for everyone.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No. Like I'm round like a potato.
Yeah, I'm like, if I could swallow you.
Well, we can make some attempts at that at least.
Oh my god. I had to go there.
You can't throw out the bait and not think someone bite it.
Catfishing here.
But yeah, things will get easier with time, and I had to go through a good majority of my early 20s before things really stabilized. But even if you're in like a shithole of an existence, things do change and things get to the better. And I'm at a point right now where I am confident in myself and the fact that I'm comfortable with myself. And I'm also fortunate enough to have people around me who actually put up with me, and, which again reinforces that really, I think, important thing that you're worth it. You're worth the effort and time. And beyond that, I think it's important. Just work on your relationship with yourself. Work on your problems. Don't be afraid to seek help. Reach out to anyone, because really you're really not alone if you're struggling with anything. And if you've had past experiences, doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter how bad other people view the experience to be. If you've had a really bad experience and it caused you pain, that's enough. That's enough, really. You don't have to justify yourself for anyone. If you're struggling or if you're hurting for any kind of reason, or even reasons you don't know, you own it. You own it. Nobody can tell you otherwise.
No. Because there's no point in comparing pain or troubles or problems. Your problems are your own, and if they bother you, then it's your right to feel shitty about it and do something about it.
Yeah, and it's not a competition. It's not a competition at all. It's just about sharing and giving each other compassion. Not really compassion, but understanding.
As Cece so wonderfully puts it in the chat, I accept and love everyone here.
We do too.
Oh.
And like, this is why I feel so at home in the cosplay community. It's like we had a panel last year about sense of self and cosplay, and I said something like, this is like the first time I've never felt so weird about something, but I've never felt so normal and so at home doing a thing ever. And cosplay is just a way for me to be myself. And like, I've never really dared to be myself. When I was a kid, I didn't follow up on the things that I really loved because I was afraid of being weird or unpopular or, stuff like that. And it wasn't until I was an adult that I actually pursued the stuff that I liked. I had a boyfriend for many years, and he is a good friend of mine. So this is not I'm not trying to talk shit about him because it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with me. But it was like I sort of lived a life where I didn't follow my things. I didn't want to do things for me. And when we broke up and I moved out and stuff like that, I finally sort of found myself. It sounds cliche, I know, but that was sort of the turning point for me, where I actually started listening to me and what I wanted and doing whatever I wanted. So I started cosplaying, and things have been better for me ever since. Like, of course, I have days that's horrible and awful, but at least, I don't know, it's like I would never really trade in on all the awful stuff that I've like been through, because that wouldn't have made me the person that I am today, sort of thing. And I'm very happy about how my brain works today and what those experiences have made me. Um, yeah, what those experiences have made me to become, really. Maybe if those things hadn't happened, you wouldn't have been as reflected as you are today, or maybe I haven't been into cosplaying. Maybe, I don't know. You know?
I think it's very true, and I recognize a lot of the things you're saying myself. And I think one experience that I kind of got after coming into the cosplay community that I did not expect, which kind of took me by completely surprise, was if you've been broken, if you've been messed up, you have more than once thought about, okay, what would my life be if I didn't have to go through this? Would it be better? Would I still have all these troubles? And I think for a lot of times, I'm sitting after being on a convention, having a nice time, well, hanging out with awesome people, and I'll be like, you know what? I think this is the closest I'm ever going to get in my life to be that person that I was supposed to be without all the shit following me throughout my life. And that is
You're
kind
gonna
of
make
like,
me cry.
yeah, but literally, it's kind of that feeling, and I'm in some way so happy and relieved to kind of connect with that side a lot of to some degree, and still is this kind of melancholy. I can't speak. Melancholy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of reminiscing that this could have been your whole existence, possibly. But then again, exactly as Sunniva says, that you wouldn't be the same person that you are today. I'm honestly not sure if I would trade in or not, because there is a lot of baggage and it's still here today. Probably if it was simply me that was, well, problem-free, air quotes, then, well, life is an uphill and shit tends to roll downwards. For everybody. Everybody suffer. Everybody experiences pain and loss. And I think that is the one of the few like great experiences that connect us as humans. And I think one of the reasons a lot of people feel really at home in the cosplay community is the openness about these things.
Mm.
And also about the sharing the things that we love so much.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
But I would just want to say one thing that Cece says, because Cece is so smart.
Yeah,
She
she's so
says-
young and so smart.
Oh no, she's soon an adult, so
Yes, true.
she's soon old. No, just kidding. I don't know if I've said this before, but cosplay for us is like Hogwarts for Harry, home.
Yeah.
And it's so true.
That is some deep stuff right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, when I was 18, I was not as smart as you. I made so many stupid life choices when I was 18. And
Me too.
fuck. I would have been so much better off if I was just a little bit more like you, Stacey.
Yep.
Eunice says, finding people who can listen and understand is so important. And just sitting down to listen to someone's day might make a world of difference to that person and get to give their struggle a voice.
Very true.
Yeah. And Ryurai says, don't think about the past. Try to find out a way to make tomorrow brighter. If it is just by giving one person a smile, that can make the whole difference. Yeah.
Also
All good
very
advice.
true. Also very true. And this is also sort of the thing. Like, I've been struggling with depression a lot for many years, and like I mentioned a few episodes ago, last year I started to make a list about all the happy things that I do, like if something nice happens a day, I will write that nice thing down just so I will remember that memory and cherish it. And also I do the same if I experience like a depression. If I'm going through a really hard and rough period, I will write down what I'm feeling and also the date. And then I will compare those two. And the list for good things are so much longer than the list for bad things. I'm just gonna see if I can find the things that I had for last year, just so you guys can see. I also did like a mood chart. I stopped it in May because I can't really continue doing things. I'm not consistent, but I started a mood chart where I would color in the days of what I felt, and like you can see, like all these colors here are really like okay or great days, and it's only these purple ones that's horrible. Like that's the horrible days. And out of like 120 days, I had like 7 of horrible days. It's just that your mind have a tendency to just remember all the worst. You don't remember the good stuff. If someone gives you a critique, you will only remember that critique. You don't remember like all the compliments you get throughout the day. So write stuff down. It will make it easier for you to focus on it. And now I'm just gonna show you, like, this is nice things. It's like 2 pages of nice things. And it says stuff like CosCast weekend. I saw Pinsvin.
Hedgehog.
Yeah, I saw Hedgehog this day. I colored my hair. It was nice. I got 300 tip from a client. Fateful Fumble turned out really fun. Went to Spain. I saw like stuff like that. CosCast Day with laser tag. It's just nice things. And the worst day list is... No, that's not it. It's another list. But it's not long at all. It's just really short. I can't find it.
But I think it's a really good idea. And I've also started doing that this year, inspired by you, writing a list of positive things and negative things, just to keep track.
Yep.
I have the complete opposite praxis.
Oh?
But I don't write anything down, but I might have alluded to having a bad memory before, especially when it comes to dates and events. So if anybody ever meets me, like, hi, it was so nice to meet you last time, and my face just go really blank. Usually I won't, because I'm really good at smiling and be like, yeah. Well, I need to find out who you are.
But we were going to have to start working towards some ending the episode, because my hubby needs his meds in his sleep, and he can't go to bed while this goes.
Yes, of course. The point is that I have a bad memory. I forget a big chunk of the bad things. Not necessarily voluntarily, because a lot of Valentine's dates and stuff also goes down that drain. But then again, don't get too caught up in the bad stuff.
Yeah, that's a good advice. So let's just go through the last questions really fast and get the mood back up again. If people are responding very well to it and stuff, but we need to wrap it up, I'm afraid.
So, Sample, do you want to do the honors?
You know which question we're talking about.
I wonder what this could be.
Well, if you were a fruit or a vegetable, which would you be and why?
I can probably think about 100 answers to that question, but I think I'm going to stick with the pomegranate.
Why?
Because I might be a bit like tough to crack into, but once you crack into me, I will spill out and regurgitate all the small pebbles of
juicy
goodness all over you. Yes, I do think I'm sweet on the inside, but bite down wrong on one of the seeds, and you might get a bitter aftertaste. Just how I like to be.
Nice. Sample has an additional question too, though. How old is Solus?
Yes. That's actually from a stream where she asked that previously, and I was working on Solus, and I was like alluding to it. Yeah, he's pretty old, and he was like, "Yeah, how old is he?" And I was like, "Have you played through the game?" So Solus is pretty old. I think he's supposed to look about 40, That's about the same answer as I gave that time. Hashtag no spoiler.
No spoilers.
Also, Yuna says, Kim, your eyeliner looks sharp enough to stab a man in the back with. Well done.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I always like to have my weapons in reserve.
Yeah.
Okay, then last question. Why are you so awesome?
Oh, God. Am I though?
Yeah. Show of hands who thinks Kim is awesome.
People
There you
in
go.
chat just say like me too or something. Yeah, that's taken.
Put a hand.
Yeah.
There are hand emojis.
If you can.
Well, I know that I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but if I'm going to just condense it down to some of what I think makes me more appetizing to people, be a yes person. I'm really not really a yes person, but say yes, go along with the fun. Don't take yourself too seriously. Don't take other people too seriously. And be up to play whenever. Have a smile.
Yeah.
Manipulate people really much.
Yes.
Lay your plans to conquer the world.
Don't say too much here. Shh.
Oh no, I have 27 plans of how to conquer the world, thank you. Only one of them involves a death laser ray.
All right.
Do you have any future cosplay plans?
I have plenty.
Yeah.
I have plenty. Yeah, as I said, it's Molly. Levelan is going to have some upgrades. Peter Baelish at some point, at the very least. I'm looking at the pile of fabric I have. I have a couple of the so-called secret cosplays. That is less secret than just me not wanting to announce it before I really get started and I can commit to it.
All right. I think that's a very good answer. So let's really quickly move into geekery before we shut this episode down. Have we watched, read, played, or listened to
question,
anything?
though.
What?
There's one more question from Sample.
Okay.
Do you have any cosplay idols and inspiration?
Oh gosh, yes. Yeah, of course I do. About everyone I meet is everyone who cosplays. Gosh, it's just an awesome person in my eyes. And who engage in the community and are open to having fun and spreading the fun around. I am absolutely dying for Santa Torres' seamstress skills. Alison Tabitha is way too genuine shapeshifter. There is a lot I could just start listing up, but I probably just have to go through my Instagram account. I will say that I really, really like to follow. I admire Heresitai and Mariana. Oh God, it just stopped for me. The Weaselette, and if not for any other reason that they stumbled across my poor Instagram account as I was making Dandelion and reached out to me, and this is how we met up for the first time. And I kind of started getting cosplay acquaintances of friends a couple of years back, and we made the Priscilla and Dandelion sandwich together, and that was awesome. And I really admire people who can reach out and be friendly like that. I was just a poor sap sitting on my floor trying to make my poor Dandelion, and it was great. So yes,
awesome.
All right. Then no more questions. We have to end it there. All I'm going to say for geekery today is that we just saw Jumanji. It was amazing. It was really funny. So everyone should go and watch that.
Yeah.
Those are my 2 cents today.
We laughed so much.
Yeah, it was so fun. Yeah. Just want to add, check out Critical Role's new campaign on YouTube. The first episode is out now.
Yes.
Or has been for 5 days.
And episode 2 is coming tomorrow, I think. Yes. I've been staying away from Twitter just to not get too many spoilers.
Kim?
Yeah.
Have you shown off your amazing cup? There we go.
There we go. I haven't watched it for 14 days. I have watched it for
It's
14 days. But yeah, it is now my favorite cup, and it's mine. No one else gets to use it except me. And I also ordered the poster for the new season as well. So I'm looking forward to have a bunch of nerdy ass voice actors dressed as 80s kids hanging somewhere in my living room.
Yes, it sounds amazing.
Uh,
All right, I'm going to call it there, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Kim, for joining us on the show. Make sure to check out her page, Ranirav Cosplay, on Instagram and Facebook. And join us again next Sunday when we will be interviewing the Mischief Managers in a Harry Potter special before Harry Potter Booknet kicks off in February.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yes, that'll be cool. So we're looking forward to see you guys. Thanks for tuning in and for all your questions and
Also-
comments and stuff. And
I have to add Fateful Fumble next weekend on Friday.
yes,
yes!
it'll be so cool. All right. So more info about that later. See you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.